The dogs are still outside. The night has not ended. Saul's men still circle the city streets, hungry and prowling. David has not moved from inside the house. Nothing about the external situation has changed since verse 1. But David does not end this psalm with the image of scavenging dogs. He ends by singing, "But I will sing of thy power. Yea, I will sing aloud of thy mercy in the morning. For thou hast been my defense and refuge in the day of my trouble." Psalm 59, verse 16. The word "but" carries everything. It is the hinge on which the entire psalm turns. On one side stand the prowling enemies, the howling threats, the empty wandering of men who came with orders to kill. On the other side stands David, with a song already forming in his mouth before the morning arrives. David does not say he will sing when the danger passes. He does not wait for Saul to be defeated or for the soldiers to leave the street. He declares his intention to sing now, in the house, while surrounded. The song is not the reward for deliverance. It is faith that precedes salvation. He names two things he will sing about: power and mercy. These words are chosen with precision. Power, because the enemies outside are powerful men with weapons and royal authority. David needs a God whose power exceeds theirs. Mercy, because David has no claim on God's help. He is a man in trouble, not a man with leverage. God's mercy is the only ground on which David stands. "Thou hast been my defense and refuge in the day of my trouble." David speaks in the past tense here. He reaches back into his history with God. This is not the first time David has been in a desperate place. Goliath stood before him. Lions and bears came for his sheep. Each time, God proved sufficient. David does not sing into the dark as a man with no evidence. He sings as a man who has watched God work before and expects God to work again. David expects morning to come. He has already decided what he will do when it arrives. He will sing aloud, not quietly. "Unto thee, O my strength, will I sing, for God is my defense, and the God of my mercy." Psalm 59, verse 17. David now addresses God. He calls him "my strength." This is the same word David used in verse 9, when he declared he would wait on God's strength. The psalm ends where it found its footing. God is the strength, the defense, and the source of mercy. The phrase, "the God of my mercy," is striking. David does not say God shows mercy. He says God is the God of his mercy, meaning mercy belongs to God's character and flows from who he is, not from what David deserves. This is the God to whom David sings, not a God who might help if the conditions are right, but a God whose very nature is to show mercy to those who call on him. This psalm opens with enemies surrounding a house and closes with David preparing to sing. The soldiers outside have not disappeared. The threat remains, but David has moved from crisis to confidence. He placed his problems in the hands of God, whose power and mercy are beyond the reach of any prowling enemy.